Hi everybody, Aaron Corcoran here, and I'm going to give you a few tips on getting ThruTracker installed and set up on your machine for maximizing your ease of use. So after you download the installer, and right now this is set up for Windows machines, we'll get installers for Mac as well as Linux machines up and running soon, but for Windows, after you download the installer, you're just going to double click on that exe file, ThruTracker 16, and we're going to say yes to allow it to make changes and install it onto the device. And you're just going to click through here and click next a couple of times. One key is click on this, add a shortcut to the desktop so that you have an easy way of opening the program later on. And then we can just do next a couple more times and install. Now, if you are installing a MATLAB app for the first time, you will also need to download the MATLAB runtime environment, which this code is reliant upon, and that will automatically be built in there. I've already done that on this machine, so it's not doing it right now. That takes a little bit to download and install on its own, but you only have to do that once. So if you do any updates later on, you'll not need to do those steps. Okay, now I can do finish. And I've got my link to ThruTracker on my desktop here, and it's also installed the machine and the example data onto the machine. So what I would suggest doing is finding where it installed that example data on probably your C drive and program files, and then go down and find ThruTracker. And in application, that is where your example data is installed by default. Now, I'd suggest copying that to your documents folder on your machine. And otherwise, if it's in your program files directory, it's going to cause some errors when you try to save data using those examples. So I'm just going to cut and move over to my documents. And just go in here and I'm going to paste and asking for administrator privileges to get out of that. And I've actually already installed it in here. So I'm going to say replace the files, but you wouldn't need to do that, assuming you're doing it for the first time. And now I've got my ThruTracker example data right here in my documents folder. So now when I open up ThruTracker, and sometimes this takes a minute, this console opens up first, and then the main display will open up after a minute. Then, when I am going through my examples, I can go to File, and if I want to do a new 2D detection, then I'll just know to navigate to those example files. For example, if we choose a video file, I'll just go to my Documents folder and find that ThruTracker example data. And then this is where all of that data is going to be located. All right, that's it. Once you do that, you're all set up and ready to go with ThruTracker.